I Who Have Nothing by Vinnie Paz is a deeply introspective and raw song that dwells into themes of struggle, despair, and resilience. Released as part of his solo work, the track showcases Paz's lyrical prowess and ability to convey profound emotion through his verses. The song's hauntingly minimalist beat underscores the gravity of the lyrics, which explore the harsh realities of life, the pain of loss, and the enduring fight for survival. With its powerful narrative and stark imagery, I Who Have Nothing resonates as a poignant reflection on the human condition, making it a standout piece in Vinnie Paz's discography. Vinnie Paz, born Vincenzo Luvineri, is a prolific figure in the underground hip-hop scene. Hailing from Philadelphia, he is best known as the frontman of the legendary group Jedi Mind. With a career spanning over 2 decades, Paz has established himself as a lyrical powerhouse, known for his raw, gritty, and often politically charged lyrics. Just a quick disclaimer, this is my interpretation of the lyrics and is not reflective of any publicized meanings. I Who Have Nothing is the 12th track on Jedi Mind's debut album, The Psychosocial, Chemical, Biological, and Electromagnetic Manipulation of Human Consciousness. Yeah, produced by Stoop the Enemy of Mankind and featuring Vinnie Paz, then known as Ikon the Verbal Hologram. Released in 1997 by Super Regular Records and limited to 1,000 copies on vinyl and reissued on CD in 2003 with 6 extra tracks by Baby Grand Records. The album's lyrics explore religion, covert plots, conspiracies, violence, and celestial phenomena. The album title is inspired by Vladimir Valerian's book of the same name. This massive 1900-page tome explores the many ways human consciousness is manipulated through psychological operations, chemical influences, biological interventions, and electromagnetic technologies. Both the book and the album explore themes of government conspiracies, psychological operations, and the influence of social and chemical factors on individuals. In I Who Have Nothing, Vinnie Paz addresses personal struggles, despair, and harsh realities, mirroring the book's examination of how external forces manipulate human consciousness. This connection highlights the emotional and psychological impact of these manipulations, reflecting the existential struggles discussed in Valerian's work.
Intersections in real time, the unbroken circle and dimensions of the mind, the tie that binds, the eternal tie that defines the vanity of my insanity in due time.
The intersections that Paz speaks of are the moments in life where different realities converge to shape an individual's experience. This implies that the human mind is constantly influenced by external forces. This can be something like a heated conversation, a movie, or even subtle influences like satanic whispers. The unbroken circle symbolizes continuity, wholeness, and the cyclical nature of existence. It suggests that the mind is vast and multidimensional, extending beyond simple linear understandings. This line emphasizes the complexity and boundless nature of human consciousness. But the problem is that it is constantly influenced and manipulated by external forces that knowingly or unknowingly seek to affect it. The tie that binds refers to the inner and external connections that hold individuals' thoughts or experiences together. It could be interpreted as the psychological or emotional ties that shape our identity and perception. The eternal tie that defines builds on the previous line, suggesting that these connections are not only binding, but also defining. They shape who we are and have an everlasting impact on our lives. Vanity here refers to the futility of something, while the insanity explains a state of mental turmoil and chaos. Paz acknowledges his awareness of these manipulations affecting him, and the resulting mental struggle seems pointless. However, in due time, the true nature and impact of this awareness will become clear. It reflects a sense of enduring inner conflict and the hope that eventually the reasons behind their insanity will be understood or justified.
Will shine like the night seas under the moon, the haunted corners of familiar rooms. Yet I'm consumed with vanishing into thin air, the realization that this shit is my cross to bear.
This line introduces the idea that amidst the darkness and chaos, moments of clarity and truth will emerge. These moments are compared to the moonlight shining on the night seas, beautiful, serene, and illuminating. They suggest that the insights and understanding gained from the speaker's mental struggles will eventually stand out and be recognized for their significance. The transition from the previous verse, "The vanity of my insanity in due time," to "will shine like the night seas under the moon," encapsulates the duality of the speaker's experience. While they currently grapple with the futility and chaos of their mental state, there is an underlying belief that their awareness will ultimately be justified and understood. These moments of clarity and insight, though rare and surrounded by darkness, will eventually stand out and be appreciated for their true value, much like the moonlight illuminating the night seas. The haunted corners of familiar rooms evokes a sense of a lingering, unsettling presence in places that should be comforting and familiar. It suggests that even in the safety of known environments, can't escape the pervasive influence of their awareness and mental turmoil. These haunted corners symbolize unresolved issues, memories, or the constant presence of external manipulations that disrupt peace and stability. The next verse signifies Paz's deep sense of being overwhelmed by his awareness of external manipulations and the resulting mental turmoil. This awareness and associated struggle dominate his thoughts and emotions, leaving little room for anything else. The turmoil causes Paz to desire to vanish into thin air and lose his sense of self, an existential hope to dissolve into nothingness in the face of his realizations. This struggle becomes his cross to bear, indicating that he has accepted it as his personal responsibility and must endure it alone, if without expecting relief from others. These verses connect with the previous themes of haunting thoughts and fleeting moments of clarity, culminating in a sense of acceptance and resignation.
So where did I think I could run away to see the people that decided to leave without asking me? But we decide to wait for happier tomorrows and find someone so they can be distractions from our sorrow.
In this line, Paz captures a profound sense of abandonment and isolation. He questions where he thought he could escape to find people who left him behind without considering his feelings. This highlights the futile search for solace from those who have moved on, leaving him to deal with his struggles alone. It continues the themes of isolation and being overwhelmed by external manipulations, reinforcing his loneliness. When Paz mentions the people that decided to leave without asking me, it can be interpreted in several ways. 1. Literal abandonment. This suggests Paz is reflecting on people who have physically left his life, conveying a deep sense of betrayal and abandonment. 2. Metaphorical departure. Here, Paz addresses the emotional or psychological distance, emphasizing the withdrawal of friends or loved ones, contributing to his sense of isolation. Or 3. The dead. If referring to deceased individuals, this line expresses Paz's grief and longing for those who have passed away, highlighting the involuntary nature of death and its profound impact on those left behind. This integrates with the overall themes of isolation and abandonment. Regardless of whether the departure is physical, emotional, or due to death, the overarching theme is one of isolation. Paz feels abandoned and struggles with the resulting emotional turmoil. So this integrates with the overall themes of isolation and abandonment. Regardless of whether the departure is physical, emotional, or due to death, the overarching theme is one of isolation. Paz feels abandoned and struggles with the resulting emotional turmoil. There's also a futile search for solace. The line, "So where did I think I could run away to see?" reflects the futile search for comfort or answers from those who are no longer accessible, whether they have left, withdrawn emotionally, or passed away. Here Paz acknowledges a common human tendency to postpone dealing with current pain and suffering by hoping for a better future. It highlights the inclination to wait for circumstances to improve rather than confronting the present challenges directly. He addresses the coping mechanism of seeking distractions through other people to avoid facing one's own pain. Paz points out that individuals often look for temporary relief in relationships or social interactions to escape their sorrow and mental turmoil.
But my distractions, the books of paper that I scrawl in. I'm eloquent as summer breeze and leaves that have just fallen. I've crawled in a corner hoping all of this will end with the knowledge that love is just another word for revenge. I, who have nothing but the comfort of my sins. I, who have nothing but the comfort of my friends.
Here Paz finds solace in distraction and writing. The act of scrawling in books of paper serves as a way to cope with his thoughts and emotions. Writing becomes an escape from his mental turmoil and a way to express his inner conflicts. The second line highlights Paz's self-awareness of his eloquence and the beauty of his expression. Comparing his eloquence to a summer breeze and a fallen leaf suggests a natural, effortless grace in his writing, despite the underlying chaos and turmoil. Here, Paz reflects a sense of desperation and retreat. Paz admits to feeling overwhelmed to the point of physically withdrawing and hoping for an end to his suffering. The imagery of crawling into a corner conveys a sense of vulnerability and defeat. The subsequent line conveys a deep cynicism and disillusionment with love. He suggests that love, which should be a source of comfort and connection, has instead become intertwined with feelings of betrayal and revenge. This perspective reflects his inner turmoil and the complexities of his relationships. In the final lines of the first verse, Paz acknowledges that his past actions and sins are one of the few sources of comfort he has left. This line implies a resigned acceptance of his flaws and mistakes, finding solace in the familiarity of his own sins. Despite his struggles, Paz recognizes his friends provide some level of comfort. This line contrasts with the previous one, suggesting that while his sins offer a dark solace, his friends provide a more positive, albeit limited, source of support. These verses delve deeper into Paz's coping mechanisms and the complexity of his emotions. He finds solace in writing and the beauty of expression, but also experiences deep vulnerability and desperation. His disillusionment with love adds to his inner struggle, while he navigates his struggles with a mix of dark and light sources of comfort. This multifaceted portrayal highlights the intricacies of his mental and emotional landscape. If you enjoyed this video, please stay tuned for part 2. Please subscribe and ring that notification bell.